Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for April 23rd, 2023. We do have some Masterpiece, Transformers news, Legends news, a little bit of mainline stuff, as usual. We got a little bit of Turtle stuff and some adjacent Turtle stuff to talk about. We finally got somebody with in-hand images of the actual Dungeons & Dragons figures. We got the whole team. Really looks good, but I'm going to talk about this. There's some specific things I need to say about these. Hi Toys is showing a teaser of their Rambo. We're going to go back over that. It's been a while since they announced it. I don't think it's really up for pre-order just yet, but there's some teaser pictures of it. There's more stuff to talk about, including Star Wars, which, good or bad, we're going to talk about all of this and more. But I do want to say that collecting toys is a lot of fun, and you get a lot of joy from all that kind of stuff. But I get joy from bringing smiles to people's faces, whether it's a video that brings a smile to your face, or anyone I interact with. Maybe I tell someone a joke or throw them a compliment or something like that. I bring a smile to their face. But my kids always say they're laughing at me, not with me, and I'm actually okay with that. Let's talk about this news coming up. Alright, so starting out with what is new at Show Z, or going on over Show Z right now. Star Toys STL1 Blitzwing is coming soon, so it should be coming into stock pretty soon there. And we're actually going to see some pictures later on of in-hand pictures that somebody else has gotten their hands on this. So a lot of people are getting these. It's $115 for this Blitzwing interpretation, 9.7 inches tall. They are running a sale on their Iron Factory EX64 Brawn, and it's for $29. I just didn't realize Iron Factory was that affordable. Maybe that's just because this is a mini bot, but that's not really a bad price. Original price was only like $33. So if you're interested in the Iron Factory stuff, go check it out. And they have a fourth party CR01S Beast Guerrera Optimal Optimus Dark version. So this is like a KO of the original. It is 9.84 inches tall, made of plastic and die-cast, and you need two LR521 batteries for the robot head. Still looks pretty cool, and not bad for $74. Okay, so Fans Toys has put out a video showing off their recorder. This is their blaster, and it is coming soon, so pretty exciting stuff going on right there, and it's some interesting stop motion they have going on for it. But this is what's allegedly coming next from Fans Toys, and pretty exciting stuff right there. I'd imagine that this is coming out, and then the cassettes are coming out shortly after, but some pretty good effects they have going on with this, and you can kind of see right there the level of paint, and you can see the actual product, and all that kind of stuff, so that's really good overall. Are you excited for this release, or are you just sticking with one of the past iterations? I kind of look forward to it. Okay, so we've got some pictures this week of Fans Hobbies. This is their Armada Overlord, and it looks like a big beefy bot. Looks pretty good overall, but then I've got some other pictures from other postings and other places of what it's going to look like in alt mode. So that's the alt mode to it. So it's kind of one of those strange kind of add-ons, I guess you could say. But it does a few other things. It doesn't just do that. You can also attach it to the very back like this. And that's something else that you can do with it. So pretty interesting, pretty cool for this era of Transformers. I really think that they're making a lot of sort of obscure stuff that no one else is going to make. So they definitely are doing a pretty good job of that. And just so you know, I'm not in on any of these, but I still think it's interesting to check them out. Okay, so DNA Designs is making an upgrade kit, the DK27N MPN 12N upgrade kit, and it basically makes it bigger. That's an enhancement, that's an upgrade, and I like those kinds of upgrades. So, all the little details aside, this is the end result, and where you go from before into the after, and so for me, I really do believe that this is an improvement, and I'd like to see this with more figures that I feel are undersized or underscaled, I guess you could say, going forward, but still looks pretty good. I don't know, Toy World sort of has a version. I don't know if they went with this color scheme, but theirs is way taller than what Takara did. Okay, so remember that the Agora model Optimus Prime subscription, this is made of die-cast. This is a very premium, high-end, 3-foot tall figure. It's a model kit that you build, and the first one is going to cost $75, and then each one Each additional one for 11 more months is going to be $150 each. So with that, I mean, this is gonna be really, really expensive, But it's gonna be very high end and premium, 3 foot tall, getting into big combiner range, not combiner, but big city bot range almost. But I want to say about this is that it's up for order right now. So if you want to get in on it and start with a subscription service, I think you got to kind of get in on it pretty soon. So you can go over to Agora Models and sign up. Someone that is going by Tiger Blades Labs, which I don't think he's making them for other people, just for himself. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But this is his 3D print of the Printformers file, which is upscaled to make a full-on Fortress Maximus in masterpiece scale. And he's continuing. He's got some other pictures that has part of a shoulder and stuff going on. So that's really impressive. And it's really exciting because if you never get one of these from Fans Toys, I guess you can go the route this guy's going and print it yourself. Of course, I don't have a 3D printer. I don't know much about all this stuff, but it's pretty exciting. And just looking at the results of it, that looks fantastic. But it looks like he's been working on it since January. So we're 4 months into this. 4 months into it. Because it's interesting because he did hashtag Printformers, and then, of course, I went from that to Printformers, and I looked at Printformers, and Printformers is showing this picture of these figures that they're trying to make them smaller. So I think that's really kind of cool that they are actually making Legends scale versions of those files. So interesting. Again, I don't know anything about all this stuff, but I might need to learn, and I might have to get a 3D printer one of these days. It would be kind of fun. So we've got some in-hand images of the Star Toys version of Blitzwing, and I think it looks fantastic. I do think it looks really good. Getting it in hand is probably not going to have nearly the paint level of, say, a Fans Toys and all that stuff, but $115, it is about pretty much half the price. I think it's $115, maybe it's $130, something along those lines. Anyway, it's about half the price of Fans Toys. So with that, it's definitely a good option. I think it is going to be more solid than what we got with the KFC version, which that one does like topple over and fall over and stuff. But anyway, it looks pretty good. The Show Z one should start coming in pretty soon, and so when that happens, that's going to be pretty exciting. I paid for mine a while back, so I'm waiting for it to ship, and I'll be taking a look at this guy myself. Here's the tank mode, and that's another one of the things about these triple changers is usually there's a mode that suffers, and so reading up on this and taking a look at it, there's also a video out of a transformation sequence, all that kind of stuff. I did kind of skim through that real quick. I didn't watch it real close, but it does look like a similarity to a lot of steps from G1, but of course adding a little bit more complexity to it. So looking at it overall, I just think it looks a pretty solid masterpiece figure, and it looks pretty good. And size, scale, price, everything, it works. Okay, so I got a hold of this picture of what's supposed to be a masterpiece. They call it Bone Crusher. When you get into these movie characters, I don't know them all. I really don't know them all, but MPM Bone Crusher, there it is. And so it's supposed to be a Target exclusive, and so with that, interesting that they're going to be making it. I don't know much about the character and all of that kind of stuff, but it's exciting for MPM collectors. MSRP of $165, 2 per case. So that's some information right there. If you're excited for it, then Target might carry it. I wish Target would do some G1 stuff, but they do like to kind of carry MPM movie stuff. But maybe we're going to get some really cool stuff down the road from Target also. So there is New Age coming up with pre-orders for their H50 Scott Hound. That is their take on the good old Hound. And I think it does look pretty good. I still prefer the Magic Square version. And I have to say it's the same song and dance every time. The design of Magic Square, I like it so much more. The paint and presentation, this feeling like it's a small painted up masterpiece, feels like it's presents so much better. Look at the paint, look at the shine, look at the sheen versus Magic Square's flat. So, I mean, it's always the same situation, but I'm very happy with my Magic Square. I don't think I'm going to pick this one up. Here's the alt mode, and I got to say both of these, though, I think both of these are still better than the one that was the McFan Toys one, which was kind of like a filler, a gap filler one, until these came out. So this is still pretty good, pretty solid. I just don't really think that you could go wrong with either option. I think this will be significantly shorter than the Magic Square one, though, so if that's a problem for you, there's a problem. But a lot of the New Age collectors like their legends small. And I don't know why we're getting more pictures of MPH Studios' version of Beachcomber. And I think this is a KO upscale of the New Age one, if I'm correct. And again, I am still very happy with the Magic Square version of this. But I'm starting to think I might want to check this out. I might want to get this and check it out and compare it to the Magic Square and all of that. But it looks like a pretty solid option overall. Interesting packaging, though. Okay, so not a whole lot of mainline news, but I hope going forward you're ready for a lot of Rise of the Beast news, because that's really all Hasbro's going to be putting out for a while there. But this is the Rise of the Beast Battle Masters Optimus Primal in-hand images, so this is basically a Target Master Optimus Primal. That's pretty much exactly what this is. If you're interested in that kind of thing, then it would work for you. So what does he turn into? This. So if that does it for you, you could get that, and you can have him hold himself or something along those lines. I think that was the joke from last week. Here we go with him being held. So interesting concept. I don't know why he would need a Target Master. I really do like the idea of Target Masters being their own separate people, and they have their own names and characters and all that kind of stuff. Their own personalities, but this is something. So it looks like we got pictures of DevCon coming from Hasbro, and so with that, he is a remold of good old Blur, so you've got that. And so with it, I think it's a good job that they've done on remolding Blur, but so many parts are different. So much is different about it. I don't really know. When they go this heavy on remolding, I don't know why they can't just completely make a holding figure, but they just did this. They reused this Blur mold, and then instead of just starting from scratch, and I gotta say it's like 80% new pieces and parts, doesn't make sense to just make their own figure. But anyway, here it goes, looking a lot like Blur, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they didn't reuse anything from this at all whatsoever. Maybe just the thighs. But anyhow, I think that this Blur mold is a pretty cool looking Blur mold, but we still have that whole giant forearm flop piece, but you don't have that with this figure, which is an improvement. So there's a lot of stuff showing up at US retail. It's almost all stuff that has to do with the new movie, or for the most part, or some of the small core class figures. But I thought it was really interesting to see these Micro Machine 2-packs are found at US retail. This is a pack 01 with Bumblebee and Megatron. Number 2 is Starscream and Optimus Prime. Then there's number 3 with Jazz and Jetfire. Number 4 with Elita 1 and Sideswipe. And then number 5 with Brawl and Blackout. So this is, if you're into the Micro Machines, it is kind of cool that they're making these. I don't personally collect the Micro Machines, but I think that you'll never get Transformers like this in this scale. But this would also go along with if we happen to get some G1 ones, but it would be kind of something that could go along with your Masterpiece shelf for those tiny little figures that they've been making with the Masterpiece. Then you could get the all mode. That'd be cool. That's what I keep thinking when I see this. If we get the G1 stuff, could we possibly use these in our displays and all that kind of stuff? That'd be kind of cool, right? So we got artwork for the HasLab Deathsaurus project, Deathsaurus, and that's pretty cool. That looks interesting, how they have that all set up, and I really think both these, this Star Saber, the Deathsaurus, side by side, it's going to be a very nice looking set. So overall, very nice looking set. So I think that everyone's going to be pleased with these, and I think everybody that got the Star Saber is very happy with the Star Saber, so they'll be very happy with this, and they're being in the package, and it's a pretty big box. So this is an interesting story that we saw this week, and it caught my eye because I don't think this would fly in the US, but in Hong Kong, there's a commercial for a Transformer-themed restaurant called The Ark. I believe it's called The Ark, and there it is. And it's really interesting that this is opening in Hong Kong, but all this stuff shows what looks to be in English. So I don't know. I'm sure I didn't watch the video. There's a video go with it. I'm sure that's not in English, but it's a pretty interesting concept, a pretty interesting idea. And I said, well, what does the inside of it look like? Well, we don't know, but what does the food look like? And this is what the food looks like. So appears to be sort of a fast food type of restaurant. That's how it looks. You get a burger with We got the Autobot symbol on there, and then it looks like the Ark is the container for the fries and all that kind of stuff. So interesting concept. I just don't know if this would be a viable option in the U.S. that enough people would go to it and probably pay a bit of a premium for their fast food meal just because it's Transformers. I don't know. I just don't think so. But maybe it would. Maybe it would thrive here. So the last thing Transformers I want to talk about isn't Transformers at all. It's Gobots, and I do want to say that I did see a Tef YouTube review of this Psykill. It's actually Bike Robo. We don't get a Psykill face. It's kind of sad. But this is exactly, and I have to say, exactly what I expect and what I want from Gobots. And this, although it's not big enough to be Masterpiece, it's all we're getting, and so I'll take it. But the thing about it is that it is a build-your-own kit. Literally, you clip on like 12 parts, and it sounds like it's worse than it is. It's not bad at all. Wish you clipped on a better face, though. But with that, the transformation is almost exactly like the original one. It is very simplified, simplistic. It's not overly complicated, and it feels like the GoBot line. It doesn't feel like Masterpiece Transformers, and they look like GoBots. And so I think that this is the correct way to go. I'm okay with clipping on 12 pieces. That takes 6 minutes, maybe, at that. So I watched it. It sounded like it was a lot of work, and it was like 6 minutes tops of slowly putting them on. So if you do it quick, you might be able to do it in 3. Who knows? But I'll review this thing when it comes in. But the fact that somebody's got it in hand already means that BBTS should be getting it pretty soon. And if BBTS is getting it pretty soon, I'm getting it pretty soon. So I look forward to it. But I am actually going to review every single GoBot ever made. And that's a huge feat. Believe it or not, just the main line of GoBots, and then Rock Lords, and there's way more than that. There's more sublines than that. Go figure. Okay, so we got Hiya Toys Rambo, and I have to say that I heard this thing's going to be $70. Now, it's a 1/12 scale 6-inch figure. Just like NECA's already made a slew of Rambos. I'm thinking this is going to look better than NECA's. This is going to... It's going to be a really nice looking figure. I don't know if it's worth 70, and for me, like, if there were no other Rambos at this scale and this blew it out of the water, I think 70 would be great. But the fact that I have like 6 Rambos, or I think I only have 2 Rambos, like six Robocops or something. If I didn't already have some that I got way cheaper, I might bite on it, but I think I might pass if it really is 70. I'm hoping for a cheaper price than that. But it does look fantastic, and I'm curious what this teaser is all about. Are they going to have pre-orders coming soon? More information, more pictures? And what's taking them so long to actually put up pre-orders for this? Okay, so there are pre-orders. Is it a pre-order? Can you just order this? It's a pre-order. For Arkham Batman life-size figure from NECA. So NECA's making a life-size Arkham Batman. And you're probably asking the first question, how much is this? And it's $11.99. 0.99, so $1,200, something like that. Crazy expensive, $1,200. But it is life-size Batman, so NECA getting into life-size stuff. My buddy offered me a life-size Darth Maul or something along the lines. I'm not into that. That's too big. I don't have space for that. But still, it's pretty cool, pretty exciting. If you're a super Batman fan, then you might be in on this. I bet you the Michael Keaton one would already be sold out. Pre-orders would be already sold out if this was Michael Keaton. Okay, so we got in-hand pictures via Axum Michael, I don't know, and then TNI News is the one that kind of pushed those around. So this is Sheila, and she looks good. I think she looks pretty good. I'm sure you can talk about the colors of her stuff, like her clothes and all that stuff, versus the animation. At the end of the day, you know who this is, and she looks good. So I'm glad that they made her, and so I will do the nitpicking in a review, I'm sure, but as it stands right now, I think it looks great with this in-hand picture. Now, we know that we've had some issues in the past. Evidently, this person got them out of the package and posed them without breaking them, so that's a plus, right? Yeah. And evidently got all 3 of them and didn't get like 2 of the same one in the box, so that's a plus too. So they look good. They look great. But I've got some more to say about it when we look at the whole team. Love them or hate them, this is pretty much the only way we're getting action figures with this. I really don't see another company, even a small company, doing this, even like a NECA or a Super 7 or any of them, taking this on for the animated series Hasbro made these. This is probably all we're going to get. I'm glad they made it. And as limited articulation, all that stuff, it looks fantastic. These look fantastic. They look like they walked out of the screen. You could nitpick all this stuff about this if you want to. I understand all of that. But at the end of the day, I'm glad they made them. And once it's over, if you are sort of into this, like try to catch the stuff on clearance or sell. But once they make their way through retail and they're not available at any retail outlet or online, the price on these are going to start going up. And I can see these just skyrocketing. Seeing as the stupid little PVC figures go for $50 to $100 right now, I could see these going up. So I'm definitely in on a few sets just because I like them and I want to have them. And if I choose to have another set down the road for whatever reason, I don't want to pay astronomical amounts. Okay, so we've got some Motu news that is pretty interesting and exciting. So we do have Amazon with pre-orders for the Snake Mountain and some new pictures for the Snake Mountain showing dimensions and updates and upgrades and all that kind of stuff. And it is $80 for the pre-order, due for an August 26th release. And April 28th at 9 a.m., Entertainment Earth and Big Bag Toy Store is going to have theirs go up. I did bite the bullet and pre-order mine through Amazon, but I would rather go through BBTS or Entertainment Earth, either one, but BBTS because of the whole ship your pile of loot kind of thing, than Amazon. And I think that I trust their shipping more than Amazon's shipping, but still, I just want to know that I've got one coming in case somehow I miss out on the other ones, but still pretty exciting overall. Yeah, some updated pictures. It does look really good. The features in this are just outstanding. That throne is awesome. The weapons rack and green weapons, awesome. Just really a great set and fantastic play set and a massive, massive, massive improvement over the original. I felt like the Castle Grayskull was okay, a slight improvement over the original. This is a major improvement over the original. So with that, it's definitely necessary. And that's the other thing. Castle Grayskull is going to sell no matter what. And they sold the whole first production run, had to do a second production run, which is why we have excess on the market. This is probably only getting the first run and none else because it is not going to be as popular, and it is so much better than the vintage. Okay, so we did get some in-hand images, in-hand pictures of Masters of the Universe, the new Masterverse figures. And I have to say that I'm more impressed with some and less impressed with others. So I do like the Grizzlor. I think the Grizzlor looks great. I did end up picking up a a Classics Buzz-Off, because I think it's going to look better than this one. And I'm not impressed at all with Merman. I mean, I'm glad they made it, but I'm not impressed at all. I think that I really advise right now, before other people realize it, to chase down one of the Matty Collector ones, the Mattel whatever, before getting this one. But anyway, that's where I feel on all of those. Now, what do I think about the Faker? And I think it's a nice looking Faker overall. And the buck itself, I mean, you've got pluses and minuses with the buck, but it looks good. I personally would like the orange on the chest piece, but if you have the other Faker they were giving away for $9 at Target, then you could just use that one. So still a great looking Faker. I think they did a really good job on this. This is what Faker should have been from the get-go, not what they had before, but it is what it is. So this information comes from Toy Arc, and I do want to say I love it when Toy Arc does this and puts pretty much all the figures in just one picture, and you can kind of get a quick look at it because we've seen this before. But this is, I guess it shouldn't be a shocker to me, but NECA is putting these up. This is the Man Ray Shredder clone, Casey Jones and Zog. So these are going up on different places: Entertainment Earth, BBTS, Chosen Prime, Toy Geek, and Amazon. So these were part of the haulathon that we were all chasing around. And although the stuff I really wanted isn't getting put up there because I really wanted the animated stuff, which I did get, I did pick some of these up along the way. But I want to say that it would have been nice to know you could have just sat back and pre-ordered them on BBTS and not had to run and chase down at Targets. But I have to admit that I enjoy the thrill of the hunt, but I also enjoy knowing for sure I'm going to get it. And for sure going to get it if you pre-order these. So this is a picture of the new Tmnt Mutant Mayhem figures revealed. Of course, obviously you're getting the four main characters, and this is what they're going to look like. So this is some kitty cartoon show kind of thing going on, and the card back shows that you're going to get Leatherhead, Rocksteady Bebop, and Superfly figures. So With all of that, I do want to say that this came from Second Time Around Toys and Comics. I did have to get this from Instagram, and I don't want to dwell on it too long, but I absolutely hate Instagram and Twitter, and every time I go on Instagram, I feel like it's a waste of my time, and it was not an enjoyable experience, and I really feel like the community tab on YouTube does a phenomenal job, way better than the entire Instagram. Instagram is horrible. I cannot stand it. But anyway, I got this picture from there, so. All right, so we're seeing more Star Wars markdowns. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised at all. Star Wars has been in the gutter for a while, but anyway, this is the Sol Guerrera figure that was originally like $33 at Target. I believe Target is $9.99 at Ollie's. Also, the Black Series Ponda Baba, the Archive Series Chewbacca, both $10. Eva Zan, I've already shown that one before for $10. Then they've got some of the Mandalorian retro figures for $5, and then TVC Leia $5, those kinds of things. So lots of deals to be found at Ollie's on this stuff. Also at Ollie's are finding the Ghostbusters stuff. Now, I know this isn't Star Wars, but it's Kenner, and I do want to point out that you're getting figures $4. That's $3.99 or right at $4 for figures for Ghosts and all this kind of stuff. It's fantastic. Also, the Ecto 1, I'm hearing that one's showing up at some Ollie's for $10. I only saw a Winston and a couple of the Ghosts, so I got me a couple of the Ghosts, and I'm really excited about getting some Ghosts, maybe opening them up, because $4 is a great price. Cheaper than I saw any of the Ghosts at the Walmart, and I never saw Ecto 1 at $10. $35, I think, was the cheapest. And then one of my local charities bought them out. But still, pretty exciting, and that's a really good Ecto 1. Yeah, I kind of want to go into Ghostbusters is failing because there's just not that many people that collect it. Everyone seems to love the franchise, but not everybody cares to collect toys. And I found that out in my Retro Wednesday video. But anyway, this is a new R5-D4, so it's a whole new build based off of that R2-D2 that we saw before, which makes sense. When I first saw it, it didn't even dawn on me. I was like, why are they reissuing R5-D4? And I was like, oh, new buck, new body. Great, that's fantastic. So with that, I'm excited for it. I have the old one. I have the Bandai model kit that I bought from someone that put together. That's how I buy model kits. That's how I'd buy a Lego something. If someone already had it put together, I wouldn't put it together myself. But this is cool. It's already put together. So, anyhow, still I think it's a very exciting release. I mean, the original trilogy stuff doesn't get enough love. If it takes a new show to give us original trilogy characters, I will take it. And then we have a vintage collection Boba Fett. Tusken Boba Fett. I don't know. I'm not excited about this at all. I'm hoping to catch it at Ollie's for $5 or not at all. And I probably should make a whole video talking about clearance, because it's kind of funny that stuff I really like, I'll buy it at full price. Stuff that I don't, I'll wait for clearance. And if I miss out on this, I mean, I don't feel like I'll be missing anything. What's he numbered? Like 280 something? I'm not sure. And we're getting a Star Wars vintage collection version of R5-D4. So maybe that card back that I saw before was not the Black Series card back, and it's for the vintage collection. So I guess I need to cut that out. I don't know. Anyhow, we're getting it, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay if we're getting one in Black Series and one in vintage collection. We're getting the same characters in both. That's fine with me. I kind of think that's how it should be for the most part, especially when it comes to vintage, original trilogy collect characters, and all that kind of stuff. But still, R5-D4 is getting more love now than ever. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news review. What else is going on out there that I didn't talk about? What are the cool stuff I like to stay in the know? Like and subscribe. Tydirium Hanger out.